Thanks, Lucy. Rachel is up next to do her quick tips.
Awesome. Thanks, Diane. So my name, as Diane said, is Rachel O'Donnell, and I am the outreach coordinator for the Metro West area, and I'm also the communications lead for Safe Routes to School. For those who don't know, my background in education is actually, my educational background is in earth science. And I've always been fascinated with how weather and climate affect everyday society, especially transportation. Safe Routes to School promotes eco-friendly modes of transportation, and it's a great way to build community and climate resilience. There are many types of greenhouse gases, such as methane and water vapor, but the most talked about greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. The graph you see here was taken from the most recent Massachusetts greenhouse gas inventory. Over the last 20 years, transportation has been a significant source of carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere. Driving has become the convenient way to get around, and COVID certainly didn't help with that. I'm sure we've all sat in commuter traffic or school traffic, and the more traffic we sit in, the more carbon emissions are being released into the atmosphere. I don't want to get too deep into the science of greenhouse gases, but I think this carbon bathtub simulation graphic from the Climate Interactive is a great way to show what needs to happen in order to reduce our greenhouse gas contribution. Think of the bathtub as all the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and there's only so much that the tub can hold. The emissions from the burning of fossil fuels is the faucet that's filling up the tub. And then the drain is the net removal of carbon dioxide through processes like photosynthesis or being absorbed by the ocean. Right now, the drain cannot keep up with the faucet, and that tub continues to fill. Eventually, it will spill over and have significant impacts. What we need to do is figure out a way to turn off the faucet and allow that tub to drain a bit more so it's brought down to an appropriate level. So what are some ways that we can do that? Although Safe Routes initially started as a health initiative to combat childhood obesity, it's also a way to reduce the number of cars on the road. As Judy always likes to say, parents aren't in traffic, they are traffic. If more students were to walk and bike, then there would be less congestion and idling on the roads. Therefore, we would like to see a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. We would likely see a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, which would ultimately improve the air quality. See, another health benefit. The My Earth, My Health tip sheet you see here can be found under the education section of our website titled Middle School Tip Sheets. It's a simple way to show the environmental benefits of Safe Routes to School. We've seen many towns start to jump on the sustainability bandwagon, and that is one way Safe Routes was introduced to them. Some communities have had no idling campaigns or are trying to reduce their carbon footprint, and by swapping a car for walking or biking, they're well on their way to that goal. Some examples of organizations where Safe Routes could be promoted are student sustainability groups or green teams, net zero task forces, and sustainability committees. Speaking of green teams, the Department of Environmental Protection has a program called the Green Team. This program helps students and teachers with waste production, recycling, composting, and energy conservation. One of the areas where the Green Team and Safe Routes intersect is through pollution prevention. The Green Team has free regulatory no idling signs available to partner schools to help reduce idling in school zones. Safe Routes has driver education resources that also reference the 5-minute idling limit and other related laws. Another resource I want to share with you is the Massachusetts Climate Change Clearinghouse. It's a one-stop shop for all relevant information related to Massachusetts climate resilience and adaptation. It has great mapping tools, policy updates, and even grant opportunities to help make your community more resilient. One program that you can find within this clearinghouse is the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, or MVP. This program supports Massachusetts communities in helping to identify climate hazards and vulnerabilities, and then helps them develop a climate action plan. I was able to actually be included in one of the community's MVP program discussions, and they did reference their schools when identifying vulnerabilities and strengths. The next resource is not necessarily Safe Routes related, but if you are looking for other state organizations that can help you reduce energy use and costs, I would recommend checking out the Green Communities program based out of the Department of Energy Resources. They have regional coordinators like Safe Routes to School and will work with you to help implement clean energy projects in schools and municipal buildings. That does wrap up my little Sustainability 101 synopsis. I hope you enjoyed that different perspective of Safe Routes.